Hey, what's up everybody, it's Axel, and today's video we're going to talk about the FiiO UTWS5, the 2025 edition of Bluetooth wireless earhooks that currently support LDAC and Snapdragon sound. So basically this is the box that comes with it, and you get an option to choose from 2-pin or MMCX, but not both. And what comes inside this box is basically this USB-C type C to type A cable. You get product tips, small manual that lets you know what to do, and you get a quick start guide with instructions and so on. And then you get this nice carrying case, actually pretty light. On the back you get the USB-C charging port that supports 5V 1 amp, and on the front you get a battery life indicator and pairing indicator lights. And if you open it, basically you get left and right indicators, you get this button for pairing, reset functions, and if you press on it, it will show you the estimate of the remaining battery life, and then you get these wireless earhooks themselves. There is of course a groove right here to fit, the type of IEMs that you're going to connect it to. One of the things you will notice that is upgraded right now is there is no metal contact point for charging. Actually, these charge by wireless charging. As you can see, there is no contact point here either. So basically, the benefit or advantage of a design like that is that you can wear it, you can exercise with it, you can sweat with it all you want, and it's not going to affect or oxidize the contact points. So this is a good point for longevity. Another thing is the design is pretty nice. It's not thick, it's kind of flat, and stays nice against your ear. And this is a button that you can press on, which is very practical. You get these color indicators for left and right. Overall, I think the design is pretty comfortable. You get here some lights and a microphone for phone calls and for the ambience mode, which I will talk about in a second. Basically, these feel very lightweight, and even when you connect an IEM to it, it stays in place. And in terms of fit and comfort, I had a lot of nice, comfortable, long listening sessions when wearing them. I actually never felt them in my ear. They don't move, they don't budge. You can see the IEM is not shaking or anything, like it doesn't move like sideways. And this button is practical and it's nice and flat against your ears. You don't feel it if you wear it long enough. Now, these buttons, if you press once, it's going to increase the volume on the right side, and one press on the left side is going to decrease the volume. 2 presses on either side is going to play back, resume, or play your music, and 3 presses on the left side will get you your voice assistant like Siri or Google Assistant, and 3 presses on the right side is going to get you to the ambience mode. Ambience mode is actually pretty nice. You press it and you can hear your surroundings in a very nice and clear way, and there is a volume control for that in the FiiO app. So basically you can increase the volume kind of to amplify the settings of the loudness of your environment, or you can even lower it so that you just barely get some feedback about your environment without getting that full isolation that you get with IEMs. They added a few things also I want to talk about, which is the LDAC. Now, in the FiiO app, they say that you have to activate it because it's turned off by default. You have to activate it in the app, and they say that your phone has to support Snapdragon sound for that to work. For me, guys, I don't think my phone supports Snapdragon sound. I'm 99% sure of that. But actually, it still worked. I got the option to turn it on, and it worked. The LDAC connected successfully, and I connected to it. So that's a great feature. But if you're using an iPhone or connected to your PC or something like that, you still get the SBC, you get the AAC, and you get the aptX and the Qualcomm aptX adaptive, and you even get a few other options in the FiiO app, which I want to talk about. So basically, one of the best features that you get something like this for is the 10-band parametric EQ, and this takes your IEMs from good to great. This is something even without this item that I tell people to use, because it's basically free and it transforms your IEM from good to great. But I have to say, the implementation with LDAC in a product like this, it just takes a lot of IEMs from, as I said, from good to great, and allows you to upgrade the sound quality, save an EQ profile on the go, and with LDAC, on the best sound quality settings, basically the sound quality is amazing. So what else does the FiiO app allow you to do? Basically, there is a battery protection mode, there is a light mode to turn on and off these lights that you find here. There is a gaming mode which lowers the latency, and it is noticeable to me not only in games but even with music playback. If you skip, or like go ahead in a track and press, on that playback button, it immediately responds, so it's very noticeable. Another thing is it allows you to, adjust the volume of the earpiece itself for 32 steps, allows you to change the filter of the internal AKM AK4332 DAC chip, because this one has 2 of them. A lot of features are packed into this small device, and you even have a microphone for taking phone calls, and that is overall impressive. So I will take a moment to talk about the sound quality of this device. How does it sound like? For me, guys, it sounds, to be completely honest, it sounds neutral and it sounds uncolored. It's not leaning in any direction. It's not warm at all, not even in the slightest. And it's not analytical, either, or clinical. It's actually very uncolored. That's how I would describe the sound. And that's actually great because this allows you to use your IEMs to do the coloration and the EQ to adjust the coloration according to your preferences. But there is another thing I wanted to talk about, which is I noticed there is no noise floor, at any settings, at any volume with any IEM. Another thing that impressed me is the level of dynamics that I'm getting in the sound and the level of detail and separation. I'm not getting a compressed sound in any way. I'm getting a lot of, open sounding sounds signatures that actually is very dynamic and has a lot of good detail. And I say that because I tried a lot of IEMs, and I will mention them in a second, and actually it sounded very impressive. Another thing that impressed me so much is the power output. Now, I don't know exactly how much power output does this FiiO UTWS5 2025 edition has, but I will tell you, using the Moondrop Kadenz as a simple example, if I max out the volume on the earhooks themselves to 32 and I'm using my phone, I'm actually listening at 60% of volume. That's how powerful it is. Maybe it's not much to you, but I will say that 70% is super loud and 80% is painfully loud, that I cannot listen for 1 second on the Kadenz. So you get a lot of headroom here, and that headroom becomes very useful if you use the EQ and kind of apply your negative gain settings. But still, even with EQ, there's still a lot of headroom, and I never could even get close to 100% volume on this device. So this level of power impressed me so much, and it probably is one of the reasons I'm getting that dynamic open sound I'm talking about. So now I will take a moment to mention a few IEMs that I used it for. I will start with something like the Kadenz, because it's basically connected. I want to talk about it because this, is a match made in heaven. Basically, guys, I like the Kadenz, and when I review them, I think it is great. Honestly, it has a lot of detail. The quality of the mid-range is impressive. The treble is great. Nothing is harsh. Nothing is sibilant. Good separation, good detail. But I felt that I needed a bit more mid-bass. That's my preference, sub-bass and mid-bass. And this is where a beauty of this device comes in. Using the EQ, it transformed from a good IEM to a super great IEM. Basically, that's the bass. When I added a bass shelf, I got everything I needed. Now, I will take a moment and say, is there a benefit still to a dongle or something like a DAP or a desktop setup? Is there improvements compared to this device? And I have to say yes, there is still improvements. You're not reaching or maximizing, the full potential of the IEMs right here, but still, it sounds pretty great enough that you will feel happy and you will get a sound quality that you will not get from any TWS, basically. So this one was a great pairing that I absolutely enjoyed. Now, moving on to something like the Kima 2, which is again a very nice IEM, very impressive IEM, very good sounding IEM. Basically here, what you get is something very close to what you get with other dongles. Like here, the scaling is not going to be like night and day. Even with the Kadenz, it's not night and day, honestly. But the improvements here are going to be minor because this IEM is easy to drive and it's already, not super resolving like other, IEMs that benefit from amplification. but you still are going to be very happy with this. And the sound quality is great, the dynamics is great, the detail level is great, and best of all, the EQ makes me from saying this is a good IEM again to saying this is an awesome IEM. I just increased some sub bass. That's all I did. Some sub bass and slight mid bass. And this IEM again wowed me. It's honestly impressive how good EQ, improves your listening experience. And when you have something like LDAC and good amount of power and very practical and comfortable, it's just going to be great. So this is the Origin. Again, another IEM that I absolutely love. Single dynamic. Takes well to EQ because it has very low distortion. This is one of the things that become also impressive. I just added, even without changing anything, I was absolutely in love with it. Sounds great, sounds dynamic, very detailed. I would say 80% of a flagship dongle or a DAP, for example. And for me, just when I added the sub bass, and a slight boost to the mid bass, kind of became fuller, better, and it just transformed into another IEM. And I absolutely loved the sound signature. And again, the power of EQ right here. Great sounding IEM. This is one of the IEMs that are small, easy to drive, fits like a glove. And something like this is a great pairing. And then we have something like the Performer 7 or 5+2. And this one, basically the advantage of something like this is just going to be the size, because it's lightweight, it's small nozzle, it's contoured, it fits like a glove. It doesn't need any power even. So this IEM, actually, Apple mentions in the manual, they recommend you use ear hooks. That's what got me curious about it. And I have to agree, because it doesn't need any power. And if you increase the power, you're not getting more improvement or anything. Slight improvement in dynamics and detail, but that's probably it. So I have to say this pairing was very comfortable, and I couldn't feel it in my ear, and I felt it had more than enough power. I was listening at 50% volume. That's how powerful the FiiO UTWS5 2025 is. Really, 50% volume was more than enough. But the interesting thing about this is that I could sleep with it if I need to. And another thing is that I never used EQ with the P7. I think the tuning is great. But if you still want to increase the bass, lower the bass, modify the treble response, whatever, you can do that. Although I think it's very smooth to begin with. But this was one of the more impressive pairings. I think they sounded close to other dongles and DAPs. This specific pairing right here, and it's very lightweight and very nice. So basically, I'm really impressed with the FiiO UTWS5. I didn't think I will be impressed with it, but some few aspects like the EQ, the LDAC, the loudness of the volume, and the ambience mode along with the wireless charging, these things kind of made the experience much better than expected. The level of volume I got was something that surprised me, that power output. So I just want to take a moment quickly to do just a comparison between this or something like a TWS, like for example the Moondrop Mocha, or the FiiO truly wireless stereo earphones. What are the benefits and drawbacks to something like this? I would say if you're going to get a TWS earphone, the main advantage for something like that is that you're probably going to get something only in your ear. So if you don't like a design, over-ear design like this, a TWS is going to fit right in your ear and will be probably, practical for you, more comfortable maybe. Another thing is that probably if you're getting a TWS, you're probably in some way going to get active noise cancellation. And that's could be useful if for people who are living in loud environments, or they walk in loud environments or sit there. You kind of use that ANC and it makes a difference. And it's absolutely enjoyable. But comes something like this one, this ear hook, and what does this FiiO ear hook does to the sound? Basically, in my opinion, it transforms the experience much more than I expected. Because not only are you going to get way more sound quality, you're basically going to get a lot of different tunings. You can use any IEM you have and just enjoy the sound. Not only that, you're going to get the ability to EQ it in a way that's almost limitless. Like something like the Kadenz with a bass boost is just insane. Another thing is the loudness. I don't usually get a TWS to sound as loud as this one. So basically the level of volume, the power output, it doesn't really matter in terms of I want you to listen loud. I advise you not to listen loud, but it kind of improved the sound of some IEMs, improved the dynamics, the stage, and even slightly the detail. And I'm honestly going to say I got better fit when I'm using something like this, because when you use an IEM you like and you have a better fit with it, it fits your ear, you know, great. You can use the ear tips that you like, and you can get a very comfortable, you know, fit with it. And I got that here better than any TWS. It's kind of, these ear hooks actually kind of give you a secure ear fit behind the ear. And so that's basically it, guys. That's the review of the FiiO ear hooks. Do I recommend it? I absolutely love it. I never thought I would love it, but basically the qualities that stood out to me are the fit, the comfort, the LDAC, and the power output, along with the ability to EQ. The ability to EQ with the LDAC and the power output just made it absolutely great. And of course the FiiO app with the settings and the ambience mode and stuff like that, and even the sound quality, these are other things that left a good impression on me. So this one gets a thumbs up from me and a recommendation. I absolutely love it. Let me know what you think. If you have any question, leave it down in the comment section below, and until then, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.